Hey guys, Chicky DeMaine, aka DeBud.com with a surf forecast update. This forecast update effective around 10:30 Eastern Standard Time on Thursday, December 19th, 2013. And guys, we're in that phase of our last forecast. If you saw our last post, we talked about a long duration easterly trade wind flow setting up, and we're now in that phase. We're going to take a look at the latest or last night's run of the GFS model forecast. This is going to start you off on Friday. Friday showing some southerly suck up swell coming in the Gulf of Mexico. The West Gulf buoy has already started this morning with some strong south-southeast winds. Seas are supposed to elevate to around 9 feet over the next 72 hours around the central Gulf. Panhandle beaches could see some surf, possibly head high plus. It'll be an onshore wind flow, but we'll take you in on that. But this is starting you off on Friday. South-southeast winds in the Gulf of Mexico around 10 to 15 knots with some higher gusts to 20 over in the western Gulf. And out in the central Atlantic, we talked about high pressure setting up, a long duration easterly trade wind flow. We've got a double high forecast for tomorrow, a high over here towards the Azores that's been sitting out here and acting as a blocking mechanism to these area of low pressures that are coming across the United States. Up here in the upper portion of this image, you can see another storm gathering now for the North Atlantic. This is the third one in a row for them. Seas are going to be increasing in excess of 40 feet as this moves off towards Ireland. This is the anniversary of the 8 missing lifeboat crew members that went missing over off Ireland years ago. So this is the time of the year that they see these huge storms set up in the North Atlantic. But as we take you into Saturday, you can see that we've got an increasing southeast flow in the Gulf of Mexico and continued double high parked out here in the Atlantic. And this again is going to increase easterly trade wind flow in here, and seas are going to be increasing 9 to 10 feet near the latitude 30 line over the next 72 hours. So this gives hope that swell that's developing along the 30 line in an east-southeast flow is going to give it more of a chance to push into the Florida beaches. There's already showing signs this morning on 911surfreport.com of a slight uptick, and buoys have been showing east-southeast ground swell 10 to 11 seconds, northeast Bahamas, east Bahamas, Puerto Rico, and all the way clear out to east of the islands in here. When we take you into Sunday, this is where we get a little bit more of southerly flow in here. So if the winds switch a little bit more southwest on Sunday along the East Florida coast beaches, we could see a little clean swell pop up. On Monday, winds go southwest, East Florida, and then the front is beginning to move through the Gulf of Mexico. That's going to switch your winds in there. We'll be doing a little bit more update on the Gulf of Mexico here later today or tomorrow. When we move you into Tuesday, the front is well in now to the Gulf of Mexico, moving across. Winds are going to be switching to the northeast by the time we get to Wednesday, which is Christmas Day. Now, between Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, there is a possibility of some stronger winds and rain coming. Florida Panhandle all the way into North Florida, but looks to fade out as the front dissipates heading into South Florida. We'll have to keep an eye on that, but as you can see, strong northeast flow now developing on Wednesday, Christmas Day, for Christmas Swell 2013. That's northeast winds 20 to 25 knots with some pinching of the gradient well northeast of the Bahamas. That's another thing we're going to be watching for as this forecast unfolds, but increasing surf conditions along the Florida coast now. That's probably seas 6 to 8 feet, small craft advisories coming. Move you out to Thursday, high pressure begins to shift out into the Atlantic. On the backside of Bermuda, continued northeast flow, 15 to 20 knots. We're going to be watching out here towards the tail end, south of Bermuda, for a possible area of low pressure that may try and develop in there, increasing the gradient just south of Bermuda, keeping the surf enhanced along the Florida East Coast. So be sure to stay tuned in for the next update. That's just a quick look of what we're looking at, guys, but should see increasing surf, Panhandle beaches, Southeast U.S. coast over the next 4 to 5 days. Stay tuned for the next update.